Hello, my name is Steven, and this is my wife,
Lauren.
and we are S and L. And this is Thriving Thursday.
Singing, walk with them daily, walk with them daily, walk with them daily, cause you need them daily. Walk with them daily, walk with them daily, walk with them daily, cause you need them daily. Walk with them daily, walk with them daily, walk with them daily, cause you need them daily. Walk with them daily, walk with them daily, walk with them daily, cause you need them daily.
Welcome to Season 3, Episode 2. Throwing up the deuces today. Hey, Episode 2, we just wanted to let you guys know we really appreciate you for tuning in. If you haven't already, you can go back and watch Seasons 1 and Season 2. And if you missed Episode 1 of Season 3, you can go back and watch that one too. You know, just get all the goodness you can get out of these things. We're here to encourage you, empower you. We really want to see people thrive, and we're using our story and our life to really kind of propel that. I mean, we've been married 12 years now.
And just bring about discussions, I think, also just have, maybe talk about things that we haven't really heard other people talk about.
Yeah.
Just like ordinary. I feel like we're just ordinary people. I'm about to sing another John Legend song. So. We're just ordinary people. We do which way.
Yeah.
No.
We have 4 kids. Our oldest just turned 8.
8.
And our youngest is 2 now. So we at one time we're gonna do a blog or vlog 5 under 4. My wife's idea. However, our kids
4
are
under
grown up.
5.
I'm sorry. Oh my
We
god.
only have 4 kids.
Yeah, not 5 kids. I'm sorry. 4 kids under the age of 5 as well as 4 under 5. But yeah, you know,
That was a catchy name, but
we still do it. You know, we could go
It
back
was a
and we
catchy
can write a
name,
book
but
about it. You know,
it was a
we
really
still
busy-
lived it.
It was a very busy time in our life, so I did
Yeah.
not write a blog.
Yeah, it was really busy, so we didn't do it
I
that
should've.
time. But we
Maybe
can still do it. We can still go back. I mean, we're talking about what.
4 under 8 doesn't have the same.
No. 4 under 5. We can still write about 4 under 5. What happened back then?
Yeah.
Because we're just rehashing.
Anyway,
Yeah.
we're just going on about
See,
this.
so you never know. There might be more to come.
Is today's topic that Steven. What is today's topic?
I don't know.
Wait, it was something and not. It was something about war, conflict and not
Oh, conflict without combat.
conflict without combat. Pose conflict without
Combat.
And he's wearing an Armed and Dangerous shirt, so it's kind of fitting.
That would be more like ironic.
Isn't it ironic? Okay, I'm really singing today. Too much songs. Okay. The funny thing about us talking about this topic is I feel like conflict without combat. Okay, we don't hit each other, but we have a lot of conflict. Is that
Our
a
combat is not
Disclaimer.
physical, is what she's trying to say.
disclaimer?
It's not physical combat. Verbal, yeah, we'll argue, and yeah,
But
that's
we
our
have rules.
combative.
We don't.
Yes, well, that's where we're going to help
Yes.
everyone today. The conflict without combat. I guess you just went ahead and threw out the first tip on having conflict without combat.
We don't. We don't even really. I know some people like play fight, and I think that they're just in their relationships that's good, but we don't even do that.
No.
We don't play fight. Like I don't.
No.
I don't. I think maybe when we're dating, I was like, "Stop it!" and I punch your arm, and you're like, "Don't hit me."
I honestly don't remember. I don't remember. I just know
Or
that.
the one time I hit you in your eye when you're sleeping. Oh.
Why would you bring that as conflict without combat? You know, that's what we're talking about. How you actually hit me. You see, that's like 2 different stories about how she hit me. That's the opposite
That
of
makes me
without
sound
combat.
abusive. He hit me in his sleep, and so I thought he did it on purpose.
Now that makes
punched
me
him in
sound
his-
abusive. So now you gotta give more of the
So
backstory
I
of
punched
something
him in
that.
his eye. This is when we first married, and he woke up
Oh goodness.
and he said, "What did he say?"
Can I fix the story real
Oh
quick?
yeah, because this sounds bad. This is going down
okay.
a bad path.
Because you've already put this on
Oh my gosh.
video. Okay, so essentially what happened is we were both sleeping. I was tossing and turning in my sleep.
And you turn like this.
I turned and somehow punched my wife in the eye. I was sleeping, it was a mistake, and she showed me it was a mistake by punching me in the eye. I woke up with my eye hurting, And I was like, "Oh, my eye hurts. What the heck?" And she said, "That's because." I said, "Why does my eye hurt?" And she goes, "Well, that's because I punched you in it." "Why'd you punch me in the eye?" "Because you punched me in the eye." "I didn't punch you in the eye. I was sleeping." So apparently what happened is I hit her in the eye while I was sleeping. Her retaliation, or reflex, if you will, was to hit me in the eye.
This is when I first married. That's my disclaimer. And yeah, I was sleeping and he hit me and I was like, no one's gonna hit me. And then I hit him back. I don't know why. I mean, I was sleepy, so I don't really think I realized that we're both sleeping, and it was just, this might be bad. I don't know. This is real.
I don't know if this is gonna make the final cut because there's no way to really clean this up. I mean, clearly any judge is gonna look like this and say, "Well, that was just flat out abuse. You definitely abused him."
You abused me.
I was sleeping.
Yeah, but people are gonna believe it.
There was retaliation. I was actually asleep.
Okay.
Oh, okay. This is supposed to be a topic about conflict without combat.
You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. You don't want to punch people.
Thursday. No, we just said that. The idea is to have us. What we tell the kids, have a safe body. The idea is to not physically harm someone else or intimidate them with physically harming them. Standing over them, putting yourself in a position of power to make it seem like you're going to hurt them if they don't yield to whatever it is you want them to do. That's not a great way to handle conflict. Can it get things solved? Yes, but at what cost? That's the thing you gotta think about. Yeah. What is the cost that you're paying in order to get a conflict resolved using either the threat of force or actual physical force? I would say that it's like with conflict itself, that's but with the conflict part, I mean, you're gonna have conflict in life.
We have conflict.
Just like last week we talked about change. There's gonna be change in life. It has to happen. In order for you to grow and just life is whether or not you want it to happen, change is going to be thrust upon you. Conflict comes out and comes along with that as well. You're going to come through conflict. There's going to be people that you don't get along with, somebody that you don't like,
agree with, or just don't agree with,
or someone that doesn't like you. Maybe you say, "Hey, I like everyone," but there's going to be someone that doesn't like you because you like everyone. I've had that. It's like, "Oh, you're always so bubbly, you're always so smiling, you're always so uppity." I mean, not uppity, but like upbeat. It's like, "Oh, you're always bouncing all over the place." Guy said to me, "I hate that about you. I can't stand it. I don't know why you're like, no one can be that happy. No one can be that happy. There's no reason why you should be happy all the time. I think you're faking it. I don't believe." And I had to actually sit down with this person and ask them, and the face to face, that was my way of addressing the conflict was, "Hey, I don't understand. Like, what have I done to you? I've been nothing but nice. I treat you with kindness just like I do everybody else. But like, even with you, making snide remarks at me and stuff like that, I still return with, I didn't plug in the microphones."
All this is nice. Can they hear any of that? Hopefully the audio sticks now. We realized the mics weren't plugged in. This time we have mics, so it's not as echoey. Not that we're like super professional.
No, the idea, but we're trying to minimize distractions as much as possible because we're trying to share some good tidbits. And I was talking about conflict. Yeah, I was talking about conflict. Yeah, I addressed the issue with conflict with the young man, and I think it was helpful because what he actually told me was to my face. It just said, "Well, I just don't think anybody can be that happy all the time. I don't think anybody can be that bubbly. Like, I don't believe that."
So you kind of confronted him. See, conflict, when we were dating and then we got married, I wasn't good with conflict because I didn't know how to handle it. Every time we had a conflict, I thought, "Oh, we're breaking up," because if you're with someone, you shouldn't be having all these problems. Like, arguing about just little things. And so I think what I had to learn is, if you're two different people, and that's okay, either like before in the past when I might have just been like, "Oh, it doesn't really matter," so I would just not, I don't want to say stand up for myself, but I just wouldn't, I don't know the words.
Engage in conflict?
Yeah, I wouldn't engage in conflict because I would just say, "Oh, it doesn't really matter," but I would say that to like everything, and then either I would get upset or bitter maybe, or like just have people kind of walk all over me. So now, and in our relationship, we do kind of bicker a little bit and argue. My sister has been privy to that quite often. Poor girl. But it's just over ridiculous things, like when we fought over the armrest in the movie theater. Oh my God. When we were dating. We
went to go see Superman Returns.
It was a terrible movie, and we fought over the armrest. I don't know why.
I was so disappointed. I was so excited to see the movie, But then watching, I was disappointed. But it started off with us arguing for 8 hours.
We argued all the way down.
From all the way from Fairbanks to Anchorage, Alaska, like 8-hour drive. We argued, and your sister was our mediator. She was like 13 at the time. She was like our mediator the entire time.
Yeah.
You know, we're both adults at the time, young
goodness.
adults, but adults, and she's, you know,
Like,
6 years younger than you.
Look at that mountain. She was trying to distract us and stuff. That was like, no, but the thing is, I don't even know what we're arguing about. But
I don't, but it really got physical at that point. It turned into,
you're right.
Because we were fighting over the arm
Yeah, we could tell this story.
in the movie theater.
Like
I went to put my arm in there, you shoved my arm off, and like we're going back and forth, and she literally separated us. And I am embarrassed by this story, by the way, because I have absolutely no idea why a 13-year-old had to separate me. And at the time we were dating, we weren't married
14.
yet, but.
I think she's 14.
She had her birthday with us, remember? Isn't that what it was? Didn't she have her birthday with us?
I think so. But anyway, yeah. So then I was like 20.
Yeah.
Was I 20?
You would have been 20 because you're 6 years older than her.
And then you were 23? Or you 24, yeah. Anyway, it's ridiculous. But yeah, so I don't even know what. But I think there's a way. It's okay to have conflict. I think there's a way in like, hey, I think this, well, I think this. And we can disagree. We can talk. We can try to take a break and come back to it. But if it's getting to a point where, like what I think is combative, like, you know, like if you're yelling, maybe intimidating, or you just taking a break away. Not that we're always good at this. Sometimes we'll say, hey, I think we need to take a break, or we need to discuss this later. But then also having a set time
to come back and talk about it. So,
or maybe to settle it, like we're not going to, like, not that we really argue about this, but if it's something like, say we were arguing about politics, we don't, but just it's like it's not going to solve everything if you believe so strongly this way and I believe so strongly this way or something.
Gotcha.
We can disagree and just either, okay, you get that, you feel this way and I feel this way, and that kind of be the resolution, not like, oh, you need to believe this or you need to change your way.
Acknowledging the difference, and then
okay,
realizing, okay, we have different ways of looking at this,
and then sometimes it's compromising. I think, like that's a big thing for us. I think we have a lot of things that make conflict coming from different
upbringings.
Yeah.
Yeah, different types of, you know.
I think we said in another video, like north, south.
Yeah.
Black, white. We just have other.
Single family, both parents in the home.
I think we just have different.
I said single family. I'm gonna say single parent. And then both parents in the home. That's what
I think we just had like sometimes different ways of thinking of things, which is kind of funny. I feel like we agree on somewhat of the important things, but not like it's not every single thing is an agreement.
Yeah, like rearing children. Like there are some things we had to compromise on because not everything we agreed on. You know,
but
I say, hey, eat all your food before you drink anything. I don't want you to fill up on drink. My wife's like, no, it's okay if they drink while they're eating. I'm like, okay.
But if you drink,
compromising.
But you can't drink the whole drink and not eat. So sometimes
and that's the thing. See,
so there's little things like that we've realized, like, because when you grew up, I think you had to eat that way.
We want them to eat their food. We talked about last week. Talked about one of our changes was nutrition. We're trying to have better nutrition. So it's not that ours was just flat out bad. It's just we're trying to find areas of improvement. And so we found one with our nutrition. With
try to kind of tighten down
things going on. We found out that through medical stuff that, like you said, we can kind of tighten down or get better in some areas with our more balanced nutrition. And
maybe like processed food and stuff like that. That's one of the areas.
Yeah,
not that we did really bad, but like if we have cookies or like when we bring them to school, if we're packing them lunch, it's a bit hard. I think
a lot of fresh stuff. Trying to keep it fresh until they can actually eat it.
And then
especially with it being hot in Texas, that's another issue because of the weather.
Steven is stricter than me. Like I'm like I expect them to listen, but maybe I'm like, if you don't, I only give you them like, okay, I'm giving you one more chance, and Steven's like, you're not listening. That's so I think that's that's okay to have a little bit different, but the same like basic thing, like someone hits someone, one of our kids hit another kid, and you put them in timeout or whatever, like to both have that same rule. But like if I'm home with them and they're yelling and I'm like, you need to stop yelling, and then I'm okay, I'm not going to listen to you when you're yelling, that's okay. But if you're going to say, if you want to yell, go in your room, I think that's okay too. I don't think so as far as stuff like that. I think we've, compromised and realized like we don't have to think or believe the same as long as it's not confusing for the kids though. Like it's
trying to be
consistent, but
having maybe different ways of handling it. However, we still also come together on
screaming and yelling is not okay. You can't keep doing that.
If they go into a tantrum, it's like, okay, well, you may choose to go to your room and scream and tantrum, or you may choose to stop screaming and tantruming and enjoy the rest of your time here. Whatever we're doing, watching a movie together, whatever. Maybe they didn't get the one they wanted, so they start a tantrum. All right, well, you may choose to go to your room and go ahead and go to bed, or you may choose to stop tantruming and enjoy whatever movie we have on. So giving them that choice, but like you said, we might handle that different.
I think stating what I think and stuff, and not just like letting it build up, because that's what would happen, and then I think it would be explosive, and I would be mad and yelling. Not that I yell. I don't think that I yell too much, but it can get to that point, I've been kind of in that way combative about like. Kind of like a snide comment, like, well, look at you again, getting to leave and go in your car or something.
My goodness.
Being like you know what I'm saying, being passive aggressive or something, instead of just kind of facing the conflict. Like, hey, I really need your help, and I could really use your help during dinner time. If you could try to, if at all possible, schedule things. Not that, because dinner time's crazy. Meal times are crazy.
Any meal time's gonna be crazy. We got 4 kids. Not that it always
happens, but like if you're always,
I shouldn't say it has to be crazy, but
instead of just saying busy, like a passive aggressive remark, like, "Oh, I see you're going out again, huh? Like, must be nice," which I've done before. I'm trying to be better about it, but I think that it helps also because it's kind of clear expectations. I don't know if this is like okay, this is a stereotyping, probably like a woman thing, but like me expecting you to know something by either me giving you a look or me telling you something past, and I have to be really straightforward with you about it.
I actually,
and that's conflict. And that's a conflict, and I thought if I just like hint at it, he'll get it, but he doesn't. He doesn't get hints. He doesn't get signs. Like I tried to give him a sign, like I was trying to tell him something, but I didn't want to say it out loud because I don't want our kids to know. And I'm like giving him signs, like I don't know what I was doing. It's like
I don't know what you're doing either. That's the problem.
And then
like,
he's
I don't
like,
know what you're doing.
What are you doing? Or like I'm trying to give him, or I'm like trying to whisper something, and he's like, what?
Yeah, go back to season 1. We talk about communication. This was these are breakdowns of communication.
I try to talk to him and spell things, but our kids know how to spell now, or he won't be quiet about it. I'm like, oh, okay, this isn't working. But so I can't hint with you. So I would say what have you learned from conflict with me that you think?
I have to be gentle with you.
That's true.
I wouldn't say that it's not that I can't speak my mind. It's not that I have to change who I am.
Yeah, you still have to be playful.
I have to, I'm still going to be honest, but I need to be gentle also.
I like how you said that.
Right. Sorry.
Oh my God.
My son just walked in and scared us. So I have to be gentle with her. So when talking to her about anything, especially anything like serious but like heavy, whether it's be like the kids or with our relationship, making sure that when I talk to her in a way that's loving, keeping in mind, who I'm talking to. This is my wife that I'm going to spend the rest of my life with, and I want her to want to be around me. And
I like how you said gentle though, instead of just like saying like sugarcoating it. Because I think sugarcoating it is like trying to make it sound nicer than it is, but I think gentle, it's just the intent of just coming at someone, but like in a loving manner.
Yeah.
So I like how you said that. I think I've learned I have to be very direct with you, and then and sometimes when you want to solve things and I need to take a step away, I need to tell you that.
Yes, and that you're right, because like we talk about conflict and combat. So like that's the thing is the way I think about things. I don't want the conflict to last too much longer, or if there is an argument or something like that, I want to have resolution as soon as possible, because I feel like that kind of alleviates opportunity for us to like go our separate ways. and let that just like fester. Maybe you didn't get it resolved, and so it just like boils and festers inside of you, and you start resenting, and then you have like an internal argument with the person, and they're not even there, and it just gets worse. And so I feel
That's
like
what you think.
Yeah,
I just
feel like
think
it can get,
talk
not it has
to you.
to.
I want to talk to, like, you know, I love you, you're my husband, or you're my kids. I want to talk to you in a loving way. Like, I need a break because I don't want to say something mean or not with gentleness, or not like have a sharp tongue or whatever. So I need to break away, and then to know why it's upsetting me, because sometimes I might be upset about something and I know it's upsetting me, but I don't know like the meaning behind it. For instance, it might have been like maybe like the third time something has happened, and it's something little, and I'm like really upset, and you're like, whoa, where's this coming from? And it's like, oh, I felt like today maybe you didn't, like you weren't communicating with me, and you're just expecting me to do things. And instead of saying that, you know, I'm just upset. And so sometimes I need to take a step back, because I'm like, I'm getting angry with you, but you know, this is the reason behind it. So for me,
so give me a chance to like reflect and figure out what it is that you're actually feeling, or why you're feeling it.
It's not just like, oh, I'm upset because you said this. Why does that make me upset? And this is the reason why. Yeah. And I'm very sensitive and in my feelings.
Yeah, and so for me, I have feelings too. It's just, you know, I tend to act more on logic. So I'll think about something and try to figure out whether or not it makes sense, and then I kind of act through that, which is why I have to be gentle with my wife, because I don't always take into account. Yeah, I don't always take into account the feelings first, or your feelings.
You think logically, and I just think of my feelings.
Well, I mean, we use a combination, but yes, I think one's more prominent. Logically, yeah, I think that's kind of what happens. And so, first of all, you have to be able to recognize that about yourself, and that's the big thing. You have to be able to recognize it first,
and then know,
kind of like AA meeting. Like the first step is acknowledging that you have a problem. Like first step is acknowledging, how do you address conflict? How do you address combat? Like, are you a fight, a flight, or a freeze type person? You know, for me, I think what happens is it depends on who I'm engaging with and what it's about. But with our relationship, a lot of times it seems to come across as, you know, I'm ready to fight. You know, I'm gonna fight for my marriage. It's how I look at it. Not so I want to fight my wife, but I'm fight for my marriage. I want our marriage to continue to thrive.
So you engage in the conflict.
So I would engage because I want us to work through the issue. But then there are times where I feel overwhelmed. Maybe it's not just our conflict, but I've had conflict, you know, in a classroom, or I'm having conflict internally dealing with issues, you know, from combat, like actual combat in Iraq. And so I'm dealing with things, and so it becomes overwhelming. Yeah. And then I'm the one that's like, I get into flight mode. And I'm like, hey, look, I just need to go take a break. If I can just take a drive for like 20, 30 minutes and then come back, like I need to get some, you know.
But knowing that is good. It's part of self-care, so you don't get to a place of burnout and then, you know, not being good.
Yeah.
So
tonight we talked to you about, you know, conflict versus combat, and really how conflict and combat comes into hand. And this is our second oldest, this is our son John. And so as you can see, we need to get him back in bed. And we're just gonna go ahead and wrap it up right here. So conflict, combat, you know, the idea is to find a good balance in life, and really work with the people around you, especially those that you care about, in your circle of influence, or in your trusted circle, and keep those that are close to you in that kind of that conflict realm, and knowing how to handle if it gets into a combat situation, combative situation, you know, verbally or whatever. Hopefully not physically, but knowing how to handle those situations. So hopefully you got some good tips, good tidbits from you. If you would please, you look down, you can hit the like and the share. Oh, I'm sorry, you got something else.
I'm just gonna say, because I don't know which stories we're gonna share, that we love each other, and we do not promote violence of any kind.
Disclaimer.
We do not.
There's your disclaimer.
No, like, you know, it's not, abuse is not okay. So I just wanted to make that disclaimer.
Yeah. Husbands, don't beat your wives. Wives, don't beat your husbands. No one beats the kids or the dog.
That's what they used to say in the army. It is for me.
Notice they ain't say nothing about a cat. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh my goodness. No animal
We don't
abuse either.
promote
No.
violence towards your animals.
How about this? No violence. Actually, it sounds kind of. We don't promote violence.
Yeah, the guy that came back from Iraq in combat.
No,
violence.
No, we don't. We don't.
Domestic
promote
violence is what
domestic
we're
violence.
talking.
Or violence really of any kind. I'm not really promoting that either. But anyway. Right, John? What do you think? You think no violence? What's the best way? What do you think is the best way to handle if you have a problem or conflict? Do you want to say anything? No. Maybe next time. Usually he likes to make videos. He likes to make his own videos, so. All right, let's get him to bed. We got school tomorrow.
Yes. All right, so we'll tell everybody good night. Again, make sure you hit the like and the share and the like and share and like down at the bottom of your screen. Give a little thumbs up, a little heart, the little smiley face emoji, you know what I'm saying? And then, if you like this, we actually have one where we talked about communication back in season 1. So, hey, why don't you go back and check out Thriving Thursday, season 1, season 2, and get caught up on some of the videos we've done. Hey, we love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting us. We really appreciate it. And y'all have a blessed and thriving Thursday. We're out. Peace.